Hello everyone and welcome back. So today I'm going to show you how we can write better fetch in JavaScript, and I'm going to use JSON placeholder, which is FactRes API, and this API will give us a fake response. As you can see here, if I do get, we get a response here. If I do post, method post, we get a response here. If I do put, we get the response here. Okay, and also patch and delete as well. And I'm not gonna showing the response into the console. I just want to showing the data into the browser. So I'm gonna use Bootstrap to do that. So to make that simple, let's just copy this, and I'm going to create index.html file and put that in here, save, and I'm going to open with live server. So now we should have hello world right here. Okay, cool. So now the title, I'm going to change that into JavaScript fetch, and let's get rid of this everything here and this comment down here. And also I'm going to wrap everything inside a container class, and I'm going to make that center, so I can use text center class. So inside in here I have h1, and I'm gonna give a margin into 5, and I'm gonna say list post here. Okay, save, and we should be able to see list post in the center. Okay, cool. So in here I'm gonna give a div, and inside in here I'm gonna create button with class btn and btn-primary. Okay, I'm going to say this is going to be get. Let's copy and paste that a couple times. This is going to be post and put and wait, delete. Okay, if I save, now we should be able to see a for button here. Okay, pretty cool. So now let's go to the getbootstrap.com. Let's go to components and list group. I just want to copy this list group here and paste that down here like so, and just add margin top into 5. Okay, if I save, now this is what we have. Okay, so what I want to do is, if I click get, I want to showing the response of the get method, the post, the put, and the delete. Okay, in here. So let's create a app.js file, and I'm going to link in here. So let's say script with source./app.js file, and inside the app.js file I'm going to log hello. Just make sure this is work. So now as you can see, we have hello right here. So that means everything is work perfectly fine. So next I'm going to copy this URL here. So I'm going to copy and go back here, and right here I'm going to create a variable called URL, set it equals to this link here. Okay, so to fetch the data, we can use fetch here and put the URL, and down here we can do .then, and we get the response here, and we can just log for now. Just want to console.log the response so we can see that what happened. So as you can see in the console here, we have the response, response here. As you can see here, the status is going to be 200, but we don't get the data. Okay, how that we can get the data? We can get the data just by saying .then again here. Okay, and we get the data. So if I console.log the data here, we should be able to see the data. Wait, oh yeah, we need to say response.json first up here, and then we grab the data and logging the data into the console. As you can see here, we have 100 data. If we want to get specific posts, we can just do, I'm gonna use backtick here and do something like this, and /1, for example, for post 1. If I save, now we get the specific post. This is post 1, ID 1, user 1, this is the title, and this is the body. Okay, so for example, I'm gonna post the data. Okay, we have another fetch here. Let's put URL, and inside in here we have the method, for example, post, and as you can see in here, and we have the body, just JSON.stringify, and all the data in here, and we send the headers. And as you can see down here, we repeat this function over and over again. So let's just copy this thing here so you can see clearly what I mean. So let's just copy to make that simple and put it here. As you can see now, let's just put URL here. Okay, so now as you can see, we have the method post, the body, and the headers, and down here we repeat this step. Okay, as you can see, we have the response.json, and then data, console log data. Okay, so the best way to do this is we need to create function that handle this response and this data. Okay, so let's just remove all this kind of stuff here. So now I'm gonna give a comment here and put a get for the get request, and I'm gonna say but first time I'm going to grab the button here. Okay, so let's add another class here. I'm gonna say get post, and this should be add post. I think add post is going to be let's say edit post, and it's going to be delete dash post. Okay, so now I want to get this button. Okay, so let's go back here, and I can say here, just comment and get all buttons. Buttons, and let's say const, I'm gonna say get post, so that equals to document that query selector, and I'm gonna grab the remember get post, right? Let's go back here. Yeah, get post, get dash post. Okay, so let's just copy this and paste that a couple times. It's going to be add post. Add post is going to be add here, and edit post is going to be edit, and delete post. Should be camel case here. Delete post. Oh, really? Delete post, and the class is going to be delete post. Okay, so in get here, I want to, if I click the get button here, the get response is fire. Okay, get request, I mean. So let's go here. I'm gonna say get post dot add event listener. I'm gonna listen for the click event, and then I'm going to log here get response. Let's just say get, and if I click, we get the get here. Okay, so cool. hope you can see this, but let's make it bigger. If I click get, we get the console here. Okay, cool. So inside in here, what I'm gonna do is say fetch and grab the URL, and I'm going to get specific ID, which is 1 for now. And down here we can do .then, instead of just say respond and respond.json, I want to create another function that handle this respond.json. So in here I'm gonna say, let's say get a response, like so. So in here I'm going to create the function, which is const get response set that equals to response response, and I'm gonna say response.json, like so. So now we can put the get response inside in here, and then down here we can say .then, okay, and I'm gonna say process.json, like so. So now let's make it that uppercase, I think, JSON. So let's create another function here called process.json, like so. Set that equals to JSON. Then down here I'm going to log the JSON. Okay, so as you can see, if I save and if I click get, we get the response here. Okay, and as you can see here, this is more readable. Okay, and when as you can see, if I read this code, we can see here .then get response .then process JSON. We know that what happened inside in here. Okay, so we can use this function into the post method, put, and delete method. Okay, cool, right? So now I'm going to showing the data here into the browser. So let's do down here, I'm gonna create variable called output set that equals to empty string, and inside in here I'm going to say output set equals to and inside in here I'm going to put the let's just copy this and put it in here, and I'm going to say I'm going to access the title here, as you can see here. Okay, the title, so we can do json.title, copy and paste that again, and this is going to be json.body. Okay, this body right here. So now I want to grab this list group class, so let's do up here. So const say list group set that equals to document.query selector, and we are going to grab the list group class, and inside in here I'm gonna do is, let's say, list group dot inner HTML set that equals to output. Okay, so now if I save, and I'm going to remove everything here, let's just comment that for now, and let's go back to the browser. If I click get, now we cannot set property inner HTML of null. Okay, we have bug here. What happened? Oh, this is going to be a list. Okay, so now save, and if I click get, we get the title and this body here. Okay, so pretty cool, right? So we're done with the get request here. Now I'm going to show you how we can write posts. So let's give a comment here. Let's say post, and in here I'm gonna say add post dot add event listener. We're going to listen for click event, and I'm going to run this function every time I click the add post button. For now, I just want to console.log and say add post. Okay, so if I save, let's go back here. If I click get, we get the data here. If I click post, we get the add post into the console. Okay, cool. So in here, I can do fetch again and put the URL here. Okay, in post method, we need to give a object inside in here, the second parameter of the fetch function, and inside in here we need to specify the method, the headers, the body. So we need to, instead of just write everything inside in here, the method like this one, okay, instead of just write everything inside in here, we can do another function that handle this information. All right, so let's go to, and I'm gonna do in here, let's just say cons write server. Okay, set that equals to, we grab the action, and we grab the data. Okay, all right, so inside in here we can just put like so to returning object. So inside in here I'm gonna say the method is going to be whatever the action here, okay, right here, and we need to send the body, and I'm gonna say JSON dot stringify, let's say data. Okay, and for the headers, let's say here, let's do content dash type, let's do application slash JSON and char set UTF, let's say 8. Okay, so now we can use this function inside in here. Okay, so wait. So now we don't really need to open the object inside in here. So what we can do is just say write server and put the method is going to be go here action, right, and replace this action. So we need to say post like so, and we need to send the new post. Okay, so let's create the new post here. I'm gonna say cons, let's say new post, so that equals to object, and I'm gonna say user ID is gonna be 1, and let's say title, I'm gonna say post 101, and the body, let's say this is post 101. Okay, and we sending this object into this function here, and that's going to be handled in here. Okay, as you can see here, the body JSON stringify the data. Okay, so now I can do down here dot then, and we are going to get the response. Okay, as you can see, and if I do then again, and I'm going to say process JSON, just like that. Okay, it's easy to read. All right, so let's just save and let's go back here and let's click the get. We get the get response here. If I click post, get the post response. As you can see, post 101. This is post 101. If I go to the network here, as you can see, this is a post request 200 here, and the second request is going to be a post. As you can see, status 201, which is everything is work perfectly fine. We have the response here. Okay, cool. All right. And another thing that I'm going to show you is put method. So let's do down here. Let's say put. Okay, and put, we need to use edit post. Okay, it's fun now, right? Because we just use this function here and this get response and process.json inside a put response that we want to write here. Okay, so we can just say, wait, we can just say edit, it's not uppercase, edit post, wait, edit post dot add event listener, gonna listen for click event, and we need to run this function every time I click the edit post button. So now inside in here I want to create the edit post, let's say update, I think update post, set it equals to object here, the user ID, let's just say 2, and I'm going to edit the title into, this is, no, I think just say post 2, and the body, let's say this is post 2. All right, so now down here we can just say fetch, we put the URL here, and we need to specify the ID, right? So we can use backtick here, let's say URL slash, for example, post 1 or anything you want basically, and the second parameter, which should be write server, and this is going to be put method, and I'm going to send the update post, and then down here we can say dot then we get the response, wait, we get the response, and dot then again we process the JSON. Okay, as easy as that. So now save, let's go back here. If I click get, we get the response down here, as you can see, and in here as well. If I click post, as you can see, we get the response here, and in here as well. Everything is fine. If I click put, we get the response post 2. This is post 2, and as you can see here, if I open the headers, as you can see, request method is put and status code 200, meaning everything is work perfectly fine. And the last thing is going to be delete method. So let's say delete here, and let's say delete post dot add event listener. We are going to listen for click event here, and after I click the delete button, I want to run this function. Okay, so inside in here I'm gonna say fetch, okay, and I'm going to specify the post that we need to delete. For example, I'm gonna say 1, and down here, oh, remember the delete method, we need to specify the method inside in here. Let's say method, let's say delete. Okay, so in here we can say dot then respond, process response, I think, no, get response. All right, get response, and then we need to process the JSON. Okay, like so. Now we save and let's go back here. If I click get, we as you can see, request method get, everything is okay here. Pause, post, we get the response here. As you can see, the request method is post. No, I mean here. And if I click put, get the response. As you can see, put status 200. If I click delete, now as you can see here, the request method is delete and status code 200. And this is going to be undefined because if we send the delete method, we don't get any response. Process JSON inside in here. Okay, this is going to be undefined. If you don't want to showing the undefined, we can just use condition here. Okay, so if the object dot key, which is the JSON here, dot lang, and I'm going to put that inside in here. Okay, if the JSON have value, we need to say this output here. Okay, so now let's save. If I click get, we get a response. Post, we get a response. Put, we get a response. And delete, that's not gonna be change everything. Okay, because this is condition will be fire just for JSON if have a value. Okay, so wait, so as you can see here, we have a request method delete and status code 200, and everything will be fine here. As you can see, the response is going to be empty object. Okay, I think that's it guys for this video. Excuse me. And yeah, I hope you learned something new from this simple video, and I'm gonna show you in the very next video. And don't forget to subscribe guys. See you.